Hey everybody, this is take two. I recorded about 15 minutes worth of footage and I noticed there's like a ridiculous amount of echo. So we're going to start over and I think it'll be a lot more clear and concise this time anyway. So for this video, it's essentially training log number one. It's going to be details about my current meet prep and what I'm doing in terms of training. And to start off, just going to introduce the program. Should be on the screen. Yeah, I can see it right there in OBS. So this is TSA Intermediate Approach. I found that on liftvault.com. Whenever essentially I choose a new program to start training with, I'll look up something like, say, DUP, Daily Undulating Periodization, or maybe something more towards like strength work, say like a powerlifting program for a meet prep. I'll look that up and I'll probably look at LiftVault and start comparing all the programs. I'll choose first off one that's in a time frame that fits my schedule. So this was literally perfect right after I finished my program. I had 9 weeks up to the meet. This is a 9-week powerlifting program, and I'd say it's fairly highly rated. People have gotten pretty good results, so I thought why not. And I've never really tried a very specific powerlifting program, so this is a first for me, and so far it's been rather promising, as you'll see. Yeah, besides that, yeah, welcome to TSA. So what I really like about the spreadsheet, it's lots of info. If you have any questions, boom, you go here. I coach myself, and guess most people technically don't have a coach anyway, so this is very useful information. It's very self-driven, very easy to follow. Personal info, I am 20, I'm around 5'8", 5'9", 165, but really I vary between 162 to 164 in the mornings. I'll be competing as a 74 kg lifter. The meet that I'm competing in is November 7th. It's down in Roanoke. It's the Virginia State Championship for USPC. Yeah, there's a USPC and USPA drama with Johnny Lane. Not going to get into that. Don't know much about it. Don't care. I just want to lift like most people. Anyhow, so here's the training. First 4 weeks, heavyweight acclimation. So you're going to be doing 8s and 7s pretty much. Usually it's 3 sets or so with an extra top set, which is usually a triple. At least for squats, it's a little different for bench press. It's more of a single, and then you do 3 sets of bench plus either close grip bench or feet up bench. As you can see, the scheme of the program is essentially the same for week to week. You'll have day 1 squat, then bench press, then accessories. Day 2 deadlift, then bench press, then accessories. Day 3 squat, accessories. Excuse me. Day 4 bench, feet up bench, pause deadlift, then accessories. And it just continues in the same pattern. Fairly boring. Can't complain. In terms of the main lifts, very fun to do. Accessories, a lot more to be desired, but again, it is a powerlifting specific program, so I kind of knew that going in, and I didn't really have any other program that really fit the criteria I was looking for. So that would be, again, going back to it, something that fits my time frame, something that's fun, something that's fairly frequent, at least 4 days a week. I'd like to be in the gym 5 days or so. I actually do put in an extra day. So I break my workouts up into Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for the program, but I'll go in on Tuesday to do some extra stuff. I really do like the power building approach, whether that's super efficient, who knows. But I still feel great. My lifts are progressing, and I haven't missed a single rep so far, so I don't think that's really been detracting from my progress at all. So last week was a deload. That means this week was week 6. I just finished the last workout of week 6, and it's been great so far. Deload, again, the usual fare, very boring, lightweight, but I also get to focus a little more since I usually cut out caffeine, also cut out music, just so the tracks are new and fresh in my head like the following week once the training gets a little harder. And yeah, without the caffeine, I do feel a lot more focused. I'm not so jittery, throwing my energy everywhere, which is very nice. I feel great doing it, but there are times where you have to kind of tone it down, focus on the form and the technique, which I do anyways, but it's a little special during a deload. It's light, so it's good to fix any mistakes or any small issues you might have. I'd say deloads are quite useful and honestly still underrated. You'd be surprised by how many people haven't deloaded since starting training. It's actually crazy. You just have to force yourself sometimes. So week 6, I actually have clips for this, so it won't be a super boring video where I'm just talking at you guys. So yeah, day 1, competition squat, 1 by 1 at 6.5, 410 load. Felt pretty easy. I mean, the RP is 6.5, but I feel like I could easily hit that for 5 or 6. Yeah, clip will be up now. And I'll show the clip of the last set of the 5x3, which is right here, 395. And then I have bench press right after, which is fairly easy. I basically have just clips for the main lifts, and that's about it. So yeah, day 1 was fairly easy, pretty enjoyable, and you notice that I'm using wrist straps, a belt, knee sleeves. Basically up until week 6, including the deload, I haven't used any of that. Basically whenever I'm doing like hypertrophy centric work or reps that are more than 4 or 5, I don't use a belt, wrist straps, knee sleeves, any equipment at all. I like lifting as raw as possible, and I think it's really benefited me a lot. And essentially I've been training beltless up until this year, March, and that was after my first powerlifting meet. And even then I was still hitting like fairly solid numbers, not to, self-masturbate, but I was in a good spot just because my core had gotten naturally stronger and I wasn't really relying on anything as a crutch like a belt, knee sleeves, or wrist straps. It was all essentially purely raw, and I'm still gonna keep doing that, and I think it is very useful. But equipment as well is incredibly useful to actually incorporate in your training. I just think that I see a lot of people overusing it, and again, I don't want to lean on it as a crutch, not to repeat myself, but that's just my way of thought, and it works, and it works pretty well for me. That might change in the future, but yeah, that's it. So week 6, I'm reintroducing the belt, wrist straps, sleeves. I haven't used them in 6 weeks, so I gotta get the whole movement down, which is great because I've got 3 weeks to do that. I'd say that's more than enough time to reacclimate to everything. I don't bench using any wrist straps, and I know USPC allows heels off plus a belt on bench, which I don't like because I would like to set my sights on competing in USAPL. So probably after this meet I'll also stop working with the deadlift bar, and I pretty much try to train to US APL or IPF standards, although I'll be competing in USPC for the most part, besides the deadlift bar, just because it's so fun to use. Day 2, I'll throw up that set of doubles and the last set of the 4x3. easy, fairly smooth. I think that last set of 4x3 was pretty clean. I got a little more focused for that. Usually the last set I dig deep. And then again, bench 3 times a week. That's actually more frequency than I'm used to. I'm really liking it so far, honestly. I don't have any clips for this. Comp squat 355. It's pretty easy. I feel like day 3 is more like obviously it's not a rest day. It's not really an active rest day either, because 355 is still somewhat intense, but it's definitely lower intensity than the other 3 days. And then this last day, which was today, we had 2 singles at RP 7, 265. Also throw up my single of 275 before 265 right now. And 3x4 at 240, so you can see my last set now. And I paused deadlifts, which I forgot to record, but yeah. So the reason why I did that 275 bench press is I like to warm up to a heavy single. For me, a heavy single is around 90%. That probably sounds pretty heavy, especially for people who've done powerlifting centric programs for a long time. It sounds kind of dumb to warm up to 90% every single time, but that's just how I've been doing it for probably, I don't know, probably like months after I started training. I started implementing that. That's just how I warm up. I throw 50% on the bar, 60%, 70%, 80%. I'll stop at 90%, and that gets my muscles all warmed up and fired, just ready to go for the working set. It'll feel a lot easier. My technique is a lot more, I guess I'm focused a lot more on the technique because I just had a heavy single, and I can easily translate that to something lighter, so it'd feel even easier than if I had just like went right into the working set. So that's just like my thoughts on warming up and what works for me. That might not work for some people, because honestly that is fairly intense, 90%, and I don't think that's gonna be sustainable long term. Once I end up putting more weight on the bar, I'd probably be stopping at 85% or less moving forward, but it works for now. Besides that, I think I was gonna mention something about the pause deadlifts. The program has pause deadlifts every day 4 essentially, and yeah, so it goes from 4s to triples. I think this week is the second to last week is doubles. I haven't really found them to be incredibly useful. My sticking point isn't really right off the floor. I pull sumo, so as soon as it leaves the floor I can usually lock it out fairly well. But maybe I'm missing something here again. I'm not a personal trainer, don't have any certifications, and as well, pause deadlift may be helping, I just don't know it yet. That's the thing. So yeah, week 7 is next week. It's essentially the same. It's a carbon copy of week 6, but at a higher RPE, which is so nice because this whole program has been like fairly easy. I'm used to very challenging programs, like DUP centric programs are like 5-6 days a week, because I like being in the gym. I like being pushed to my limits pretty much almost every day. That's just like what makes the gym fun for me. So this program has been fairly slow, not boring, but very close to it. If it wasn't for the meet prep, I would have probably stopped and changed programs. However, it is very effective, so I'm not going to go on emotions based on that. So yeah, week 8 is the heaviest, but instead of triples for the deadlifts and the squats, it turns into doubles, which is very interesting. Getting more and more specific towards the singles as the meet gets closer, which makes a lot of sense. Week 9 is pretty much competition week, so it's fairly light. Probably planning to do day 1 on a Monday, day 2 on a Wednesday. Then I would take Thursday off, Friday is a weigh-in day, and then day 4 would be the actual meet. That week, gonna record some footage. It's gonna be a bit of a vlog style, so that should be really fun. I'm very excited to edit that. You'll probably see a video for week 8, since that is technically on paper gonna be the hardest, heaviest week, and I feel like that'd be a lot more interesting than week 6 or week 7. Maybe before week 8 I'll have another video detailing maybe something else about my training, maybe even something like somewhat unrelated but still related to my training, maybe a bit shorter, maybe a little more fun. I don't know, just trying different styles of video. This is more of a training log, so somewhat boring, but hopefully the clips that I threw in there were I don't know, somewhat entertaining. And yeah, I'm excited for the meet. Feel prepared. Hopefully nothing really changes other than hopefully it gets even better. That would be very nice. And yeah, November 7th, that is meet day down in Roanoke. So yeah, feeling confident, feeling good, and that's about it. I'll see you all later.